What if I told you that you're just 90 days away from a completely different life? I'm not talking about empty promises or magic formulas. I'm talking about a method tested by one of the most lethal warriors in Japanese history, a man who won over 60 life-or-death duels and died undefeated at age 62. Miyamoto Musashi had no time for pretty theories. Every decision he made could mean his death the next day. And it was precisely this extreme pressure that forced him to develop principles that transform lives radically and quickly. While you're watching this, thousands of people are wasting years on changes that could happen in 3 months. The difference? They don't know what you're about to discover. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to apply Musashi's philosophy to revolutionize your life in 90 days. It's not comfortable, it's not easy, but it works. The question is, do you have the courage to try? Musashi believed that mastery begins with a single commitment, 1,000 days of deliberate practice. But here's what most people miss. He wasn't talking about casual effort or showing up when you feel like it. He was talking about a level of dedication that reshapes your entire identity. Think about your current routine. How many days have you started something with enthusiasm, only to abandon it within a week? 2 weeks? A month? The problem isn't your willpower. The problem is that you're treating transformation like a sprint when it's actually a siege. Musashi understood that real change doesn't happen in moments of inspiration. It happens in the unglamorous repetition of daily action. The first 30 days are deceptive. You'll feel motivated, energized, ready to conquer the world. Your brain floods with dopamine every time you complete a task. But around day 35, something shifts. The novelty wears off. The initial excitement fades. This is where 99% of people quit. They mistake the absence of excitement for the absence of progress. Musashi faced this same wall countless times. The difference? He knew that boredom was just another opponent to defeat. When training stopped being fun, he trained harder. When his body screamed for rest, he pushed through one more repetition. Not because he was superhuman, but because he understood a fundamental truth. The person you become in the mundane moments determines who you are in the critical ones. Here's your first challenge for these 90 days. Choose one skill, one habit, one transformation you want to make real. Not 3, not 5, 1. Write it down. Make it specific. Get better at business is worthless. Send 10 cold emails every morning before 8 is a battle plan. Now commit to it for 90 days straight. No exceptions, no excuses. No, I'll start again Monday. Musashi didn't get do-overs in his duels. Neither do you in life. The opponent in front of you right now is future you, the version of yourself 90 days from now. Will that person thank you for the discipline you showed today, or resent you for the time you wasted? The beauty of 90 days is that it's long enough to create real change, but short enough to maintain intensity. It's roughly 1/3 of those 1,000 days Musashi spoke about. In 3 months, you can build the foundation of something extraordinary, but only if you treat every single day like it matters, because it does. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 day and underestimate what they can do in 90. They wake up thinking today is the day they'll transform everything. By noon, they're exhausted and disappointed. Musashi would tell you to flip that script. Lower your expectations for today. Raise them for the accumulation of all your todays. During his years of training, Musashi didn't wake up trying to become a legend. He woke up trying to be slightly sharper than yesterday. One more swing of the sword, one more hour of meditation, one more page of strategy studied. Those incremental improvements compounded into mastery that made him unbeatable. Your 90-day transformation works the same way. If you improve just 1% each day, you'll be 37 times better by the end. Not 30%, 37 times. That's not motivation speech mathematics. That's compound interest applied to human capability. But it only works if you show up every single day. The hardest part isn't the physical effort. It's the mental battle against your own brain telling you that today doesn't matter, that skipping once won't hurt, that you can always catch up tomorrow. These thoughts are poison. Musashi knew that the sword of discipline cuts both ways. Every day you choose progress, you strengthen your character. Every day you choose comfort, you weaken it. So here's what you do right now. Before you move to the next section, decide what your 1,000-day journey begins with. What's the one thing that, if you did it every day for 90 days, would completely change your trajectory? Don't overthink it. Your gut knows the answer. It's the thing you've been avoiding because it's hard. That's exactly why it's the right choice. Write it down, set a timer, mark day 1. Because the warrior's path doesn't start with a grand gesture. It starts with a single step repeated so many times that it becomes who you are. Musashi spent 1,000 days becoming a swordsman. You have 90 days to become whoever you're meant to be. The clock starts now. Musashi lived his entire adult life with almost nothing. No home, no possessions beyond his swords, no attachments that could slow him down. This wasn't poverty. It was strategy. He understood something that modern life tries desperately to hide from you. Everything you own owns a piece of you back. Look around your room right now. How many things do you see that you haven't used in months? How many clothes hang in your closet unworn? How many apps sit on your phone stealing your attention in tiny increments throughout the day? Each one represents a small leak in your energy, focus, and time. Individually, they seem harmless. Collectively, they're drowning you. But here's the part that really matters. The physical clutter is just a symptom. The real weight you're carrying is invisible. It's the toxic friendship you maintain out of guilt. The job you hate but stay at because it's familiar. The habits you know are destroying you but feel too comfortable to abandon. The version of yourself you pretend to be because admitting the truth feels too painful. Musashi's philosophy was brutal in its simplicity. If it doesn't make you stronger, it makes you weaker. There's no neutral ground. Every relationship either sharpens you or dulls your edge. Every habit either builds your discipline or erodes it. Every commitment either moves you toward your goal or distracts you from it. The next 30 days of your transformation require surgical precision. You're going to identify everything in your life that falls into the doesn't serve category and eliminate it without mercy. Start with your physical space. Take everything you own and ask one question. Have I used this in the past 90 days? If the answer is no, it goes. Donate it, sell it, trash it, doesn't matter. What matters is that you remove the dead weight. This process will feel wasteful at first. Your brain will generate elaborate scenarios where you might need that thing someday. Ignore those thoughts. They're fear disguised as practicality. Musashi traveled the length of Japan carrying only what he could hold. He won 60 duels without the security of backup plans or safety nets. You can survive without that bread maker you used twice 3 years ago. Once your physical space is clear, the real work begins. Open your phone and look at your screen time statistics. Don't lie to yourself about what you see there. How many hours disappeared into scrolling? How many evenings evaporated watching strangers live their lives on social media? Those hours are gone forever. You traded pieces of your transformation for temporary distraction. Delete the apps that devour your time. Not tomorrow, right now. Yes, even that one you're thinking of keeping. Especially that one. If the thought of removing an app creates anxiety, that's proof you need to remove it. Musashi would tell you that anything you can't walk away from controls you. And nothing that controls you serves your transformation. Now comes the hardest cut of all. The people. Not everyone in your life wants you to change. Some people are invested in you staying exactly as you are, because your growth reflects their stagnation. They'll disguise their resistance as concern. Don't you think you're taking this too seriously? You're becoming obsessed. Remember to have fun. These words sound caring, but they're actually chains trying to pull you back to comfortable mediocrity. Musashi spent years wandering alone because he understood that the path to mastery is lonely. Not because masters are antisocial, but because most people aren't willing to pay the price of transformation. They want the results without the sacrifice. They want the victory without the battle. When you commit to real change, you'll naturally drift away from people who aren't on the same path. This doesn't mean you need to burn bridges or make dramatic announcements. It simply means you stop investing energy into relationships that drain you. You stop attending gatherings out of obligation. You stop having conversations that leave you feeling smaller. You create space for silence, for focus, for the deep work that transformation requires. Your calendar is another battlefield that needs clearing. Look at how you spent the last week. How many commitments did you say yes to that you actually wanted to say no to? How many meetings could have been emails? How many social obligations absorbed hours that could have gone toward your 1,000-day practice? Every yes to something meaningless is a no to something important. For the next 60 days, your default answer to new requests is no. Not maybe. Not let me check my schedule. Just no. This will feel rude at first. People will be surprised. Some will be offended. Let them. Their opinion of your boundaries is not your concern. Musashi didn't ask permission to pursue mastery. Neither should you. The space you create by cutting what doesn't serve isn't empty. It's fertile ground. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you remove the clutter, the distractions, the dead weight, something powerful rushes in to fill that void. Focus, clarity, energy. The very resources you need to build the life you want. But here's the warning. This process never truly ends. New clutter will try to accumulate. New distractions will emerge. New people will enter your life wanting to pull you back toward comfort. The sword that cuts away what doesn't serve must be wielded continuously. Musashi sharpened his blade before every battle. You must sharpen your discernment before every decision. By the end of these 90 days, you won't recognize your environment. More importantly, you won't recognize your tolerance for things that don't serve you. You'll develop an instinct for what drains you and what fuels you. That instinct, once sharpened, becomes one of your most valuable tools. It's the difference between a life spent reacting to everything and a life spent intentionally choosing only what matters. Musashi began every day before the world woke up. While others slept, he practiced. While others dreamed, he sharpened his skills. This wasn't just about getting more hours in the day. It was about claiming victory before the battle even started. There's something almost mystical about the hours before dawn. The world is quiet. Your phone isn't buzzing. Nobody needs anything from you yet. Your willpower is at its peak because you haven't spent it on 1,000 tiny decisions. This is when transformation happens, not in the chaotic middle of the day when you're depleted and distracted. Here's what nobody tells you about morning routines. They're not really about the morning. They're about winning the first battle of the day against yourself. The moment your alarm goes off, a war begins in your mind. One voice says, "Get up." Another says 5 more minutes. Whichever voice you listen to sets the tone for every decision that follows. When you hit snooze, you're not just delaying your wake-up time. You're training yourself to negotiate with discipline. You're teaching your brain that commitments are flexible and comfort is more important than growth. Musashi never negotiated with himself. When it was time to train, he trained. When it was time to fight, he fought. The space between decision and action was non-existent. For the next 60 days, you're going to do something that will feel impossible at first. You're going to wake up at the same time every single day, including weekends. Not when you feel like it, not when you've had enough sleep, at the exact same time. Set your alarm for 1 hour earlier than you currently wake up. When it goes off, you have 5 seconds to get your feet on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. Those 5 seconds are everything. Your brain can justify anything if you give it enough time. It will construct elaborate arguments for why today is different, why you deserve rest, why starting tomorrow makes more sense. Don't give it the chance. The moment you wake, you move. No thinking, no negotiating, just action. What you do in that first hour determines the quality of your entire day. Not because morning routines are magic, but because they build momentum. A body in motion stays in motion. A mind engaged in productive action continues finding productive actions. But it works in reverse too. Waste the first hour and you'll spend the rest of the day trying to catch up, always one step behind, always slightly disappointed in yourself. Musashi used his mornings for what he called the way of strategy. He studied warfare, practiced technique, meditated on past battles. He didn't check messages or worry about what others were doing. He focused entirely on becoming more dangerous than he was yesterday. Your morning should follow the same principle. In that first hour, you touch nothing digital. No phone, no computer, no television. These devices are designed to fragment your attention and fill your mind with other people's priorities. The morning belongs to you and your transformation alone. This is when you work on the one thing you identified in the first principle. This is your sacred time. The resistance will be enormous. Your brain will generate every excuse imaginable. You'll feel tired even if you slept 8 hours. You'll remember urgent tasks that suddenly seem critical. You'll think about how much more comfortable your bed is. These thoughts are not insights, they're attacks. Your comfortable self trying to sabotage your transformed self. Push through anyway. Make the first week non-negotiable. Don't evaluate how you feel. Don't judge whether it's working. Just do it. By day 7, something starts to shift. Your body adapts to the new rhythm. By day 21, the resistance weakens. By day 60, you'll wake up before your alarm, eager to claim that hour for yourself. But here's what makes this practice truly powerful. It's not just about productivity. Training before sunrise is about identity. You're not just someone who works out early or reads before work. You're someone who takes what they want from life while others sleep. You're someone who doesn't wait for perfect conditions or ideal circumstances. You're someone who acts when action is hardest. Every morning you win this battle, you're depositing proof in your own credibility bank. You're showing yourself that you're capable of doing hard things. That evidence accumulates. It becomes unshakable confidence. Not the loud, insecure kind that needs constant validation. The quiet kind that comes from knowing you've already done the work, while everyone else was still deciding whether to start. Musashi's opponents often lost before they even drew their swords. They lost in their preparation, in their discipline, in their willingness to do what others wouldn't. By the time they faced him, the outcome was already decided. Your competition, for jobs, for opportunities, for success, works the same way. Most people are still hitting snooze while you're already 3 hours into your transformation. The sunrise becomes symbolic. Each morning, you're watching the world wake up to a version of you that's already won the day's first battle. That feeling is addictive in the best way. It creates a standard you refuse to fall below. Miss one morning and you feel it in your bones, not because you're being hard on yourself, but because you've tasted what discipline feels like, and comfort suddenly tastes like failure. This principle connects directly to what you cut away in the previous section. If your evenings are still cluttered with meaningless activities, you won't have the energy to dominate your mornings. If you're still staying up late scrolling through feeds, you'll wake up depleted. Everything works together. Cut the waste. Reclaim your time. Invest it in the hours that matter most. By day 90, your relationship with mornings will be completely transformed. What once felt like punishment will feel like privilege. That quiet hour before the world intrudes will become the foundation of everything you build. And when people ask how you changed so much so fast, you'll know the answer. You won the day before anyone else even started fighting. Musashi's most famous duel lasted less than 3 minutes, but he spent months preparing for those 3 minutes. He studied his opponent's style, analyzed past victories, planned every movement. When the moment came, he fought one battle with total commitment. Not several battles simultaneously. One, this is where most transformations die. Not from lack of effort, but from scattered effort. You decide to change your life and suddenly you're trying to build a business, learn a language, get in shape, fix your relationships, and reorganize your entire existence at once. Within 2 weeks, you're exhausted and disillusioned. Your brain has limited decision-making energy each day. Try to focus on everything and you'll master nothing. Every additional goal doesn't just compete for resources, it multiplies the complexity of your entire system. Think about water flowing through pipes. One pipe delivers strong pressure. Add 10 pipes to the same source and each becomes a trickle. Your willpower works exactly the same way. For these 90 days, you're going to do something counterintuitive. You're going to choose one primary battle and make everything else secondary. This single focus becomes your non-negotiable priority. Everything else flexes around it. Look back at what you identified in the first principle. That's your battle. Maybe it's building your business to a specific revenue number. Maybe it's losing a specific amount of weight. Maybe it's writing your book. Whatever it is, that goal gets your best energy, your morning hour, your full attention. Everything else gets what's left over. This doesn't mean you abandon other areas of your life. It means you accept that for 90 days, they don't get to grow. They just don't get to shrink. You maintain your relationships without trying to fix them. You keep your job without trying to get promoted. Maintenance mode in 9 areas so you can achieve breakthrough in 1. The modern world is designed to prevent this kind of focus. Every app, every notification, every opportunity screams for your attention. Society rewards people who multitask, who juggle multiple priorities. But those people aren't achieving transformation. They're achieving busyness disguised as progress. Watch what happens when you tell people about your singular focus. They'll think you're extreme. Why not also work on your relationship? Couldn't you add one more small goal? Don't you think balance is important? These questions come from people who've never achieved significant transformation. Balance is a myth sold to people afraid to commit. Musashi didn't live a balanced life. He lived an obsessed life. That obsession created mastery that lasted centuries. You don't need balance during these 90 days. You need imbalance. You need to tip the scales so heavily toward your primary battle that success becomes inevitable. Here's how you implement this practically. Every morning, before anything else, you advance your primary battle. Not after email, not after urgent tasks. First, when your willpower is strongest and your mind is clearest, you give your battle the best of you, not what's left of you. Throughout the day, competing demands will arise. Most seem urgent. Few actually matter. The question you ask for every request, every opportunity, every distraction is simple. Does this advance my primary battle? If yes, consider it. If no, decline it. Your secondary areas get scheduled time slots, but those slots don't expand. Relationships get Sunday afternoon. Fitness gets 30 minutes after work. When that time ends, you stop, regardless of whether everything is perfect. Perfect is the enemy of transformed. This approach feels uncomfortable because it forces you to disappoint people in the short term. You'll say no more than yes. You'll let some things be good enough instead of great. That discomfort is the price of transformation. But watch what happens around day 45. Your primary battle starts showing serious progress. Real, visible, undeniable progress. That progress creates energy that wasn't there before. It creates confidence. It creates proof that your strategy works. Musashi won 60 duels because he never fought 60 duels at once. He fought one duel 60 different times with 60 different preparations. Each battle got his complete attention from start to finish. This is how you win too. Not by dividing yourself among many goals, but by multiplying yourself within one. By day 90, people will ask your secret. They'll want to know how you achieved so much while they barely moved forward. The answer is simple, but most won't accept it. You fought one battle at a time while they fought 10. You went deep while they went wide. You chose transformation over balance. Musashi spent his final years alone in a cave writing the Book of 5 Rings. After decades of constant battle, he chose solitude. Not because he was tired or defeated, but because silence had become his greatest teacher. In the quiet, he could hear what the noise had been drowning out. This final principle is the one most people skip. They do the work, show discipline, maintain focus, but they can't stop talking about it. Every small victory gets posted. Every struggle gets shared. Every insight gets broadcast to anyone who will listen. And in doing so, they bleed away the power of their transformation before it fully takes root. There's a reason why Musashi told almost no one about his upcoming duels. He understood that words dissipate energy. Every time you tell someone your plan, your brain gets a small hit of satisfaction, as if you've already accomplished something. That satisfaction reduces the tension that actually drives you to complete the work. Silence keeps that tension intact. The next 30 days require discretion that will feel unnatural in our oversharing age. You're going to stop announcing your intentions, stop updating people on your progress, stop seeking validation for your efforts. Your transformation becomes a secret operation that plays out in silence until the results become impossible to ignore. This doesn't mean you become secretive or dishonest. When people ask what you've been up to, you answer truthfully but briefly. Working on some personal projects. Focusing on improvement. Then you redirect the conversation back to them. Most people don't actually want to hear about your transformation anyway. They want to talk about themselves. Let them. The real power of silence reveals itself in what it protects you from, other people's opinions. The moment you share your goals, you invite judgment. Some will discourage you out of genuine concern, others out of jealousy disguised as realism. Either way, their words plant seeds of doubt that you then have to spend energy removing. Why invite that battle when you can avoid it entirely? Silence also protects your strategy from corruption. Well-meaning friends will suggest modifications to your approach. Family will encourage you to be more balanced. Each suggestion, even if valuable, introduces complexity and doubt. Your plan becomes a committee decision instead of a personal commitment. But the deepest benefit of silence is internal. When you stop talking about your transformation, you start living it more fully. The energy you would have spent crafting social media posts goes into actual work. The time you would have spent explaining your journey goes into advancing it. Musashi's sword spoke louder than any words he could have said. Your results will speak louder than any announcement ever could. 6 months from now, when people see the transformed version of you, their surprise and curiosity will mean more than any encouragement they might have offered beforehand. These 90 days are yours alone. Guard them fiercely. Work in silence. Let success make the noise. When day 90 arrives and you've become someone unrecognizable from who you were, then you can speak. Until then, let your actions write a story that words could never tell. Musashi died undefeated not because he talked about being unbeatable, but because he silently became it. Now it's your turn, or